Hi, it's Amanda with Watch Me Franchise, and I'm here with two of our local franchisees, Lakota of Urbane and Gentry Spell, and just going to sit down with them and talk to them about their marketing and being close together, how they team up together to do their local area marketing. Well, thank you for taking the time to sit with us and talk about the marketing. As local franchisees, are you guys able to work together in your marketing efforts?
Yeah, more than ever. This is our second season, but we've even Lakota. We had a lady I was working with last year. Mm-hmm. She hasn't filed in 10 years, but all these people that haven't filed in 10 years, it's excuse after excuse after excuse.
Right.
So I called her, 10 or 15 times. So I just called her last week. I'm like, I just can't wait for this excuse. And she's like, yeah, I want to get in there, but I really want to use a local place. And I'm like, that's great, because we have a location in Folsom. Here's the address, and Lakota did follow up. So I think that now this is her final excuse. So I think they will get the and even with the leads, as far as Virginia, we had a lady that we were working on last year that, she's like, no, I really want to use someone, local. Mm-hmm. And she did. She saw the facility in Virginia, and she's going to go to that. And that was a lead from last year. So, it's really good to see, and when I'm out marketing, we had a lady in Noah's Bagel. She's like, oh, I saw that Lincoln store, and that's what she, didn't want to do it over the fax. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know it's a real good store, so she's going to go there. So it's really, with all these stores, it's really doing what it's supposed to be doing. All these, other stores, coming up. And, I know the other franchises are doing the same thing, going, oh, we got this, Roseville store. So that's, just a really good development thing to see, only the second year out of the gate.
Right.
So.
And also with marketing, we work together, as well, like Gentry and I and Heather. We're already doing, like marketing pieces together as far as, like coupons, putting both of our addresses on it. We're doing the Penny Saver together, Clipper magazine together.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's great because it allows us to save obviously the money and bust out the volume that we need to.
Right.
And it just makes us look, that much more, recognizable and, basically gives people the ability to have confidence in us knowing that there's multiple locations rather than just one,
Right.
So it gives us that angle as well. And, already, outside of just, Gentry, myself, and Heather, there's other franchisees, that are already coming together. Like, the Lincoln and downtown store has reached out to all the local franchisees,
awesome.
letting us know. And the great thing is that we really are working together, which is great. We're not greeting it and trying to hoard all of our own clients. We're trying to work together and, establish that name and, building trust with each other.
Right.
And saving money together by, being able to, the Lincoln and downtown store, they actually had contacts with a radio station. And,
great.
And I don't even know he had a ton of...
Yeah, with the
plugs and stuff
with the radio, it's weird and it's really hard to work with them because a lot of them just go, give me your $5,000,
right.
and they give you not drive time. So there's a lot you have to look at. If it's free and you get it at 12 o'clock at night,
right.
that's okay.
Right.
But you want the drive times. And you also, by getting that campaign, you want to be, when they're due a promotion, you want to go out with a big promotion with them. And a lot of times when you go to radio, they'll take your money and, they'll give you the ads. But those little benefits, you don't get. But Lamont was really good. We both worked together really good on, getting those extra benefits. And he already had his foot in the door, and his friend was one of the sales reps. So we got awesome drive time plugs, and we got the after ones just for free. They just go, oh, we'll just throw those in, and we're going to do an interview with them. And he shared the wealth with all the franchisees.
Wow.
And what it also did, it's not because if Lincoln, for example, were to blow $5,000, he wouldn't get a $5,000 bang for his buck.
Right.
But for all of us, to spread out. It was cheap, and then they established a 1-800 number that goes to Lakota's facility.
Okay.
And then she's taking the intake calls
Uh-huh.
and giving them all out, because the radio spans in all different areas.
Wow.
And then the ones that aren't in developed areas, they're just dividing them. So it worked out tremendously well, and it just gets better and better, because our DMA started out not so good, because we had one guy that he had a heart attack, and but even not having the meetings, if you can communicate over the phone,
Right.
because the Las Vegas DMA, they're on fire.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
they're
and
just so
they're
much
the
better
ones-
than we did, and it's just so important to come together
Yeah.
on these ads, because a lot of in our DMA, there were new stores getting the build out. They were overwhelmed. Someone came in from the penny saver. They just wanted to sign the contract because they had so much.
Right.
So next year, I mean, we're going to do a lot better job than we did this year, because now we're all talking and they know the mistakes they made. And as a group, you can say, oh, I did this and it worked horribly,
Right.
or this is awesome. And with the penny saver, the areas that we can spam out, they really will. They'll give us a discount, and they give us better positioning. We can get the back page. We can force the back page, because some of these other companies can't afford a whole page.
Right.
But we have all these numbers on it. So next year, we're going to do a lot better job with the DMA than we did. I mean, we did an okay job, but we could have done a lot better job than we did. But we did make good progress. The radio station was really good.
That's
good
so
progress.
great.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, with a lot of the marketing opportunities that's out there. It's so key to have consistency and repetition, and again, you have to pay for
Right.
that. So
Right.
those are all things that we all want to budget out, that we definitely want to do, but
Right.
it's more of a futuristic thing, as far as, I want to tackle radio, but it needs to be this much, and I can't jump into that in my first year. We need to do
Right.
that in year 2. With all of us, collectively coming together, it's all of us, giving our 2 cents as far as what
Right.
what we think we need to have, in the scripts, and what we think is going to, actually bring people into our locations, and calling and all of that, which is just so great, again, for us all to be working together. And like Gentry said, it's so, even though we haven't taken full advantage of the DMA meetings, like our Las Vegas franchisees, who again pretty much started the whole trend. I mean, they were awesome. They right off the bat were, let's save a buck and work together and do this and do that, and they just got into motion. And
Right.
our DMA people, at corporate was like frowning at us, saying, you
Right.
guys are behind. But it wasn't as much, like Gentry said. It was trying to just get everything together. But we found very quickly that even though the meetings are great, you can do so much through email, and calling
Right.
over the phone. And that's how we put this whole radio campaign together. Was the demand from the Lincoln store just giving us a call, reaching out, giving us the opportunity, not
Right.
again hoarding it for themselves, but saying, hey, let's all benefit from this contact that we have.
Correct.
And then from there, we just started emailing everyone, saying, yeah, I want on board, I want to do this, I want to do that,
Right.
and going back and forth from there. And this is just the beginning. So from here on out, with what we've established already, like the call center that we're starting with, the toll-free number that we have with generating the leads, we can use that for every promotion that we do. Where if we have a website, whatever we do, we can start getting prepared and establishing something for
Right.
growth, so that in the future we've already started somewhere, and we have that opportunity to continue utilizing the tools that we have with all of us, contributing to.
Right.
And I don't even limit it just to our DMA meeting, because I get other stores that call that are from Florida or out of the state, and I always tell them my phone's always on, and if you have a tip, call me.
Right.
Because different stuff comes up, and like there's little stuff that comes up that these stores, they got to constantly be thinking, because we had an awesome, and a lot of times you'll pay for advertising that's completely non-effective, and sometimes we'll pay nothing for an advertisement that is better than paying $10,000 for
Right.
because we did one this year that was awesome. We did a lot of good ones last year, but this one this year, and it was too late to